Okay, so today I'm going to start the high nitrogen requirement plants. What I've done, I'm going to plant cilantro and some cabbage, red acre cabbage. So what I did is I filled this up with a little bit of compost, and then I put the chicken manure that I harvested this year, layer there, so when it starts to grow down with the roots, it'll hit the roots at the right time. So I'm just going to fill up the bag a little bit more, put some regular compost. Okay, so now I've got the compost here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the cilantro first. And cilantro is a high nitrogen feeder. Cilantro likes a mixture of 1 to 1 to 1 ratio, and usually around 20 to 20-20 or 19-19-19 fertilizer is what you should use for cilantro. It's a very heavy nitrogen feeder, and it requires a lot of phosphate and potassium too for your NPK value ratio. So spread a few seeds around, and then I'm just going to scoop a thing of dirt. I'm just going to cover it. There we go. So now as the plant grows, the cilantro grows, it needs a high nitrogen, high phosphate, high potassium rate, NPK. So when it starts to reach its roots down to that one little layer, it'll be full of nitrogen and will make the plant just grow like crazy. So that's the plan for that. And of course we're going to do some cabbage, which is also a high nitrogen feeder and has about the same ratios as a cilantro. It's really a heavy feeder, just like potatoes and corn. They all require a lot of nitrogen. And they really need the phosphorus and potassium too, so don't neglect that part of it. Okay, shovel down. Yeah, I know, I'm good with equipment, right? So this is some seeds I've had, and I need to plant some of these just if I only want to get seeds, but I really like cabbage because you can put it in so many different meals. I like I don't know if you know about potted cabbage meals. We're not going to put a lot of seeds in there because they're very small seeds and they will just sprout everywhere. And I'll transplant these later as they start growing into another pots. Like I said, the raised bed over there is for all the low nitrogen requirement plants, so I don't have to mess with it. And this will be for the medium and high nitrogen area where I'm going to grow everything in a planter or a pot or grow bag or whatever. And I'm just going to be lining up this whole entire greenhouse. Now you're going to ask why I don't have it covered yet. Well, I don't have it covered yet because it's not required to be covered yet. And plus, when I get my tomatoes out here that I'm growing, I want to put the cover on definitely because I noticed the ultraviolet light in the upper B and in the ultraviolet C. There's 3 classes of ultraviolet: UVA, UVB, UVC. Supposedly most of the UVB in the upper range doesn't hit the earth, and the UVC doesn't hit the earth at all. But that's not been the case for the last 3 years. And so if you've had shriveled up leaves on your tomato plants, that's probably the reason why, because it really affects the tomato plant with the UVC hitting the ground in the upper UVB. So I would suggest you get a UV protected tarp or high tunnel this year if you want to grow tomatoes, especially if you're up in the northern hemisphere like I am, close to Canada. Thanks for watching.